Put down thy foot!
W.P.O.T. Sports. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Fight Island. You have our gratitude. 111 W.P.O.T. Sports. That's right, UFC 251 Fight Island is real. It's no longer a rumor. It's no longer a fairy tale. It is going to happen. Dana White has created the Ultimate Combat Center, and it is Fight Island. Usman versus Masvidal. And we're going to give you our W.P.O.T. predictions, just like many other predictions you would see here on YouTube. The difference being, we give you our fight predictions on weed. Before you go to Fight Island, Usman, I will first tell you of your brother and your uncle. We were once in the city, and Dana White's men were there. They were bullying and arrogant. They kill your brother, and they rape your uncle. I thought you should know this. I didn't know that. That's right, 111 W.P.O.T. Sports, and the Wild Man is here to give you the fight predictions for UFC 251, Usman versus Masvidal. That's right, no longer a rumor, no longer fiction. Gilbert Burns did drop out as he did contract coronavirus. However, Jorge Masvidal has stepped in on short notice to take up the challenge, and it is not very often, my friends, that you will see a UFC card have a cancellation and then end up with a much more exciting card. This is special. Fight Island. I love it. Before we can go to Fight Island, we must make sure that we have our fight predictions on weed, and we do give you the fight predictions for the main card only, but these are some good fights, people. Of course, we're going to start it off with a fight that's not so good, but we'll get it all underway, because the shark is on the loose, along with the Wild Man and W.P.O.T. Sports. And we will start off our adventures, our fights on Fight Island, with two island beauties going into combat each other. Rebus versus Van Zant. Rebus strongly trying to make a name for herself in the division, and Van Zant, who's trying to prove to everyone she's more than just a pretty face. And I tell you what, she is one of my favorite pretty faces in the UFC. And we're going to have to make a prediction now for the first fight here on Fight Island, Rebus versus Paige Van Zant. Prediction on weed? I'm going to have to say, Paige, you're my favorite. I love you, but I've got to go with Rebus because I think she's just a tougher girl. Usually when you see a fight, the girl who's not as pretty is the one who's going to, usually win. Sorry, Paige. Love you. Gonna cheer for you. But Rebus will have the victory by decision. Next up, a battle of bad blood on the beach. The beaches of Fight Island will run red when we see the rematch between Jessica Mandrage and Rose Namajunas. That's right, they fought before, and in their first fight, I have to say Rose was looking good. She was hooking, she was jabbing, she was landing, and then before you know it, Mandrage got a hold of her and gave her a manly body slam, and put her down on her sweet little skull. And I felt horrible, but you were winning, Rose, so if you could get in there and keep the Mandrage away from you, jabs, hook, then you'll get the victory by decision. W.P.O.T. prediction on weed. Rose Namajunas by decision. And next up on this exciting evening of Fight Night Bouts, we're going to see a battle for the vacant Bantamweight Championship left empty by Henry Cejudo, the world's toughest midget. And we're going to see a battle between Petrion and Jose Aldo. Now, I think that the battle is not legit, but that's just me. I think that Jose Aldo lost in that battle to Marlon Moraes, and the judges agreed with me. Many fans were out there all, I think Aldo won. Even Dana was like, I think Aldo won. However, me and the judges said Marlon Moraes won, and it should be Jan versus Moraes, but it isn't. It's Jan versus Aldo on Fight Island. And now it's time to make a fight prediction on weed for the first of 3 title fights on UFC 251. And the fight prediction WPOT says on weed. Petrion by knockout over the aging Jose Aldo. Too strong, too young, too fast, too good. 111 WPOT, so saith the shepherd, so saith the wild man. But that's not all, Islanders. No, make sure you get your burgers ready for this one. Get your burgers ready, get your buns ready, get your weenies ready, because this is the second of 3 title fights, and it's going to be a rematch between Alexander Volkanovski and Max Blessed Holloway. And I tell you what, on that first bout, I do believe that Alexander Volkanovski handled that man with power, speed, and a little bit of stout. I think he handled Max Holloway decisively and definitively, and the judges agreed. However, this time, maybe Max Holloway will be able to get his boxing going, and it could be a different story. You never know. On any given Sunday, anything could happen. That is one of the things that makes the UFC so great. Any given Saturday, that is. And you know what? We are on weed. But now we're going to give you a prediction on weed. It's going to go just like last time, folks. Alexander Volkanovski making a difference this time, winning by knockout over Max Holloway. And that is the WPOT prediction for the co-main event of UFC 251. And if you don't think that was enough, Islanders, you need a little more? Well, there's still the massive main event between Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman, the champion. That's right. The improved ticket comes with this mighty, mighty bout at the end of it. Make sure that you have plenty of big buds for this fight, because you're going to need something better than beer to hang on tight to the couch for this one. This one's going to be explosive, I'm telling you, folks. I got nothing to say against Gilbert Burns. He's a great fighter. It would have been entertaining enough. But this is one of those any given Sunday fights. Anybody could take it. Anything could happen. Now, let's not take anything away from the champ, all right? He's got a jaw of iron, and I've seen Colby hit him with everything he got. And Colby couldn't make a blister. But Jorge's a different story. Jorge hits a little bit harder. Now, I bet against Jorge before. I bet against Jorge against Darren Till, and Jorge beat Till. I bet against Jorge when he fought Nate Diaz, and he beat Nate Diaz. I bet against Jorge when he fought freaking Ben Askren like a fool, and he beat Ben Askren. So I'm not going to buck the trend this time. I am going to pick Kamaru Usman for the victory over Jorge Masvidal, the Street Jesus. That's right, Usman, too big, too powerful, too much gas tank. And I think that's the way it's going to be. I think it'll be a decision. If it's going to be a knockout, it'll be Jorge. But I do believe this will go to a decision, and it will be all Usman, all day. That is the W.P.O.T way. We're going to go, hey, Usman all day. Oh, yeah, UFC 251, baby. And that's how it's going down. That's what you've got to see this Saturday, July 11th, UFC 251, Fight Island, Usman versus Masvidal. And those are the picks from W.P.O.T Sports, along with the Wildman and Star Malibu out there in Los Angeles, California. And let me tell you something, I'm excited and I'm going to be there because Fight Island sounds fantastic. UFC 251, the card is improved. I'm telling you people, these fights are going to be fights of extraordinary magnitude. 111 W.P.O.T Sports will be there. Will you be there? Now, they're going to be great fights you don't want to miss out. Of course, not as good as watching Ronda or Colby get beat up. I can watch Ronda and Colby be defeated all day long. Over.